Hi everyone, let's solve this problem. Interleaving string. Given strings S1, S2 and S3, find whether S3 is formed by an interleaving of S1 and S2. So let's understand what is interleaving. So if you see here, you can go through this definition, but it's very hard to understand. So let's see the visual representation of it, which is easy to understand. So let's say this is S1 and this is S2, and we kind of have to check if we can combine S1 and S2 to get S3. So here there is just one condition here, that the ordering of S1 here should be same as the ordering of the substrings that can appear in the S3. Same applies for S2 as well. If you see, all the letters are in the relative order of the characters which are appearing in the same order in the S2. So for this, basically you kind of can divide a particular string into any number of substrings of any length, and same applies with S1 and S2, and kind of combine them so that there is a string formed which is equivalent to whatever they have given. So now let's solve this using dynamic programming. So let's copy these things and let's also okay, just as A B C C and D B B C A. So in this case we are just drawing the table, DP table, and we also have to have one particular empty column and empty row, which we do for all the problems. We'll understand why we need it. And let's also finish up these parts. Now let's say this is an empty string, this is an empty string, and like if you take both empty strings, it's possible, right? So it is possible to get an empty string because we are checking beyond the length of the S3 as well, so it will be true. So now after this, if you kind of take this particular cell, it says I'm taking this particular character from here, and this is empty string from the first. S1 is empty, so let me also write it here. S1 is empty, I'm picking up. S2 is A. So if you see S3 ending character, is it matching with A? No. So that means it's not possible for us to get A character for the last character in the S3. Same thing, now let's say I take CA instead of just A. So if you see here, we have AC, but it's not possible to get so we have AC, but we have in S2 CA. We cannot change the ordering of the characters in a particular string. So basically, if A is not possible, all this will be not possible, because we are kind of taking the same string, right? Same S2 string, to check if the last few characters are possible or not as per the length taken. So now the other way around. So let's say I take S1 as C. So we are going to fill this column. So S1 as C and S2 as empty. Let's see if it is, so last character is C from S3 and C is there, so this is possible, it's true. Now I take CC because these are the two characters in this particular cell, and this is empty. Is it possible to get CC in the last two characters of S3? False. So basically, and anything apart, all of these will be false, because if the order is broken once, all the order will be broken for empty string versus the rest of the strings, right? Once this is done, now we are at this particular cell. So at this particular cell, from S1 I can only choose we can only choose So S1 is this part, C, and S2 I can only choose A. So if you see, so we are kind of comparing two characters now, AC. So is C matching with this particular this particular index? No, because the character there is A. So, and we'll check if A is matching with this particular character. Yes, if that is matching, we will just check if its next cell is true or not. It is true, so we will just update it. And now the same thing happens for this particular cell. So in this cell, what am I doing? I'm taking S1 as C, S2 as C and A. So in this case, I have C and A. So is C matching with this particular index? Yes, C is matching with this particular index. So what should I check? I should check if its below cell is true, but it is false. And when I have is this particular cell, is this particular character matching with C? Yes, that means I'll have to check at the next cell. This is true, so I'll just update. So what we are trying to do is, if S1 of I is equals to S3 of I plus J, so nothing but this is, there will be a J position here, I position here. So I'm just checking if S of I is equal to S of I plus J. If it is equal, then I will check if dp of I plus 1 J, dp of I plus 1 J is true or not. Because for this particular cell, if I kind of match this particular, let's say, character, I will check if already the remaining characters are calculated or not, right? So that will be coming for ith cell from dp of I plus 1 comma J. So dp of I J will be this. But if let's say S2 of J is equal to S3 of I plus J, then dp of ij answer can be updated from dp of I j plus 1. So what we are saying is, let's say this character is already matching with the character here. We will check if rest of the characters have already matched. If it is true, then this answer will any which ways be true. That is what we are currently doing. So now at this particular cell, I have BCA and S1 as C and S2 as BCA. So in this case, I will have to take 4 characters from the S3 as well. So I have 4 characters BCAC. So I'll check if C character is matching with B. No. But is B matching with this particular index? Yes. If B is matching, what will I do? I will just check if the next cell is true or not. It is true, so I'll update it as true. So now if you check here, this is C and BCA, so I can form BCA comma C. This is coming from S2 and this is coming from S1, so we can form this string. Now when I am here, I will have to take 5 characters in this particular cell. Is C matching with this index value? Yes. So we will check if I plus 1 is true, false. We don't go to the next iteration. But let's say, and I have next B here. Is B matching with the character C? So it will remain as false. So initially we kind of have the values false in all the cells. Now again I will take now the whole S2 string DBBCA. So now in this case 5 plus 6 characters we have to take. So we will take this part. So we will check if C and B are matching. No, they are not matching, so we can ignore that. We will check if D and B are matching. They are not ignoring, so we can they are not matching, so we can ignore and it will remain false. So again, if we are at this particular cell now, S1 is CC, S2 is just A initially. So again we are starting at this particular cell, so this will be the only value. So now CCA, again we have to check last 3 characters of it is CAC. So is C matching with this C? Yes. In this case, what are we going to check? We are going to check its bottom value. Bottom value says it's true, so this will be true. And is A matching with C? No. And let's see if we have written it as true. Let's see if it's possible. So in this case we have to get CAC. I can take first C from here, A from the second string, and C again. So we are able to construct the string which we have with the 3 characters. Now again S2 will be CA and I have 4 characters. Now if you see, is C matching with the B? No. So let me also erase the previous. Is C matching with B? No. That means we kind of ignore, it's already false, we can ignore. And is C matching with B? No. So it will remain false. And next what will happen is, like, I will take BCA in the second string. So now my scope will be for 5 characters. Now is C matching with C? Yes. In that case, what do I have to do? I have to take the value from the previous cell. It is true. So let's see if we can construct BCB. No, one second, it will be CBCAC. So if you see here, I can take first C and then I can take BCA from here and then again I can take C. So we can construct it, so and so forth. So basically whenever this particular character is matching with that particular index, we will just check in the bottom cell, and if this particular character is matching with that particular index, we are going to check in the next cell. If if it is true, we kind of update it as true. So our answer at the end will lie in this particular cell. So let's write the code for this. It's simple and straightforward. So let's say m is equals to s1 dot length, let n is equals to s2 dot length, and let dp is equals to, we are going to declare a 2D array, in this case m plus 1, because we are going to use one extra column and row as I have already shown, and then new array of n plus 1 dot fill. Initially all of them will be false. Then what are we going to do? dp of mn, n will be 0. Now initially it will be 1. So what are we going to do is, we are going to iterate over all the other cells. I will start from m and it will go in the reverse direction till 0, I minus minus, then let j is equals to n, j is greater than or equal to 0, and j minus minus. And now in this case what will happen is, we have to check if I is less than m, just to check the bounds, and if s1 of I is equals to s3 of I plus j. So basically we are kind of combining the like s and I and j, because we will get the number of characters remaining. That's how I was calculating this particular length, right? I plus j. So in this case, if this is the case, then dp of I, and also if it is only true, then we have to go I plus 1 and j is true, only then assign dp of I plus 1 j. Other, if it is false, any which ways all the values are assigned to false initially, so we don't really have to handle that case. If I is less than n, sorry, j is less than n, and then s2 of j is equals to s3 of I plus j, and then dp of I comma j plus 1. This is the next cell, and dp of ij will become dp of I comma j plus 1, and our answer will be there in dp of 0 comma 0. So let's run this. Let's submit it. Okay, we also have to ensure that there is one case where, let's say if m plus n is not equal to s3 dot length, then any which ways we have to return false, right? Because there is no point in moving forward. So let's submit it. Okay, now let's take a small example, because we cannot complete this entire thing. I'll just explain a small part of it. Let's say s1 is ab, and let's say s2 is cd, let's say s3 is acbd. So this is the, let's say, ab, cd, this will be true, right? Initially this will be true. This is empty, this is empty string. So if I consider this my, so I'm just taking s3 here, a c b d. So if in this particular cell there is only one character, here it is empty. So is it possible? Yes. If they are matching, I'll just look into the next cell. So true, and then I take these two values cd. If you see, is c matching with b? Is c matching with b? No. In that case, what will happen? I will have to return like I'll have to update it as false. Now let's take s2 as empty, s1 as b. So is b ending with d? So false, and this also will be false, because if d is not matching, ab will also not match. Now in this particular cell we are taking s1 as b, s2 as d. So is d matching with the last d? Yes. No, sorry, we have two characters now. We will take length 2. So is d matching with the b here? No. And is b matching with b? Yes. If b is matching with b, what we will do? We will go to the down cell and check it is true. Now in this case, we have this particular cell, s1 is b, and s2 is c and d. So in this case, what we will do? We will take the length of 3. So we'll see if b is matching at the index this point. No. Is c matching? Yes. If c is matching, I will check the next cell. It is true. I'll update it as true. Now again, I'll move to the previous cell and I'll take s1 and s2. s2 is d, s1 is AB. So in this case, again there are 3 characters, so length is 3. Is A matching C? No. Is D matching C? No. So it will be false. And now we are taking S2 as CD, S1 as AB. Now in this case, we will take the entire string and let's say, is A matching S1 this A? Yes. If this is matching, we'll look at the downsell and update it as true. So our answer lies in the first like DP of 0 0. So we kind of return true from here. I hope the solution is clear. Now let's also understand the time and space complexity of this solution. Time complexity of this solution is big O of m cross n because we are iterating over all the elements of like we have created a DP of mn and we are kind of iterating over all the m and n. So it will be m into n, and the space complexity of this solution would be big O of m into n again, because we kind of declared a 2-dimensional array which has a space of m cross n. I hope the solution is clear. Thank you.